Hello and welcome to Scarlet Serpent Readings. Thank you so much for joining me for yet another pick a card reading, a timeless pick a card reading. Before I begin, I just wanted to mention I've been celebrating my birthday and I have to give a couple shout outs. First, for Rosalie Laws for that amazing Akashic Records soul book. That was an incredible gift, and I'm very grateful, and I still look at it. And it is in part, well, it is part of the inspiration for this reading, in that we'll be looking at celestial messages, kind of messages from the stars, a starseed inspired reading, really. We'll be looking at where the messages are coming from, like what races, what star beings are coming through. We'll be seeing how they view you, what is their view on you, how they see you, and then we'll be getting their perspective on a particular situation, so kind of their guidance. I also wanted to give another shout out to Yusef. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Because I wanted to use this deck for this reading, and he was able to send it through, even though it was out of stock with the guidebook. So, and I got a little happy birthday with the Aries too. So that was really sweet, and I'm excited to use this deck for the reading. So that being said, let's get on to it. We have 3 piles for you today. Pile 1 is going to be, let's see if I could, the Buddha here. Pile 1. Pile 2 is going to be this dragon. You already know by now. There we go. Dragon friend. And then pile 3 is going to be this lapis lazuli pyramid. It's always with the objects, yeah. Okay, well, just imagine a lapis lazuli pyramid. There we go. For pile 3. If you need more time, you can go ahead and pause the video. The timestamps will be down below in the description box, and I'll see you at your pile. Hi, pile 1. If you chose the Buddha, this is going to be your reading for celestial messages, messages, perspective, and guidance from the stars. So first we'll be looking at what beings are connecting with you, which ones are close to you at this time. Actually, I have a little bucket here, and I'm gonna pick 1 or 2 out. Let's see, 2 or 3. I'm gonna take all 3. I should have mentioned this, but I'm not gonna leave it out. I'll say why. So we have the tall whites. Okay, well, the tall whites. The second one was the Anunnaki, which I deliberately put in there, and I was gonna put a disclaimer not to be afraid, because I'm mentioning like just all the ones that I know, and that's one of the ones that I know. I just want to say that I feel as though it's kind of like animals, not to say that these beings are like, well, I guess, but like to immediately have a negative thought about, let's say, a group of animals such as lizards, like all lizards are bad. It's distorted perspective, and I just don't think that that's true. To round up an entire collective and put that label on who they are. And I feel as though I don't know the how close each of these beings are. I feel like these are just the ones who are interested in you. But I feel as though even their presence can be like looking at the shadow aspect of yourself and kind of bringing that to light and balancing it within you. So I didn't want you to be nervous or afraid just because I had mentioned it and put them in the little bucket there. And then we have the creators, as these are the three coming through that I pulled out from there. Let's see, I have a total of 5 cards here. One of them is a dragon oracle, which hopefully gives me another race. It might not. I haven't looked at these cards. 2 of the other tarot cards are describing these beings. And then I have 2 more tarot cards indicating how they see you. And then we'll get on to the main message, their perspective on a situation that you're dealing with. So, let's see. Oh, this is nice. I don't know why I knew this was coming. Archangel Gabriel's dragon. Self-discipline will speed ascension and bring joy. You can carry Archangel Gabriel's diamond. I've heard, and it's arguable, or I've heard the arguments that some people consider archangels to actually be extraterrestrials, either from Lyra or Arcturus. So you could take that as it resonates, but if the extraterrestrial celestial beings thing doesn't really resonate, you could also take this as a message from Archangel Gabriel. So whatever feels more comfortable for you. We're going to get a description of these beings. One is the Page of Cups, and then the King of Cups. So this is an emotional body, an emotional intelligence, kind of young, new emotional movement, as well as mastery. So you could say that these beings are all on different emotional maturities, with Archangel Gabriel, of course, overseeing the element water. I think this is incredibly fitting. I'm just smiling because, yeah, anyway. I'm not going to dive too much into their personalities. I just think that they navigate the world through emotions, and I would even go to say, as far as the Anunnaki go, that their desire, I don't know about these races that much, by the way, but their desire to try and control a race, or to try and dictate an entire collective, is just because of a lack of self-control. That's not what I was gonna say, but yeah, you know how when you were, well, I don't know if everyone was like this, but when you were young and then you throw like a tantrum, like you were offered something, a candy, you said no, and then you changed your mind, and then your parent just like, oh, well, too late, and then you get like kind of this really tense energy you don't know what to do with. I feel like that was kind of the energetic place that this race was in when they were supposedly trying to take control of this and that. I'm not going to get into that because I honestly don't know, but and that could tie into the pages and tie into the intelligence that these beings are bringing in. It's kind of recognizing when you're the king or queen of your emotions, when you notice them with a certain kind of distance, objectively, you're just recognizing emotions, as opposed to the Page of Cups, where you're kind of carried by them. And that's where these beings are at, is that they're they represent different levels of mastery. So let's see what these beings think of you, this is interesting. We have the 10 of Swords and the Queen of Wands. lots of courageous energy, lots of standing up for yourself, lots of shining through brightly. And it's interesting that this is coming from beings who are very emotional, so it's kind of like it's transformative for them as observers, because Earth is a place of polarity and it's very balanced, but not all beings get to witness really everything in a physical level, as far as, and they want to know kind of how we, or they're interested in how we interact in such a polarizing space. They see you as transformative. You've gone through a lot of cycles, and it's made you brighter and more confident, really. And it's like through that transformation, you've become more and more, I just said, confident in yourself, sure of who you are, very bold, and bold in a way that I just keep feeling a sense of being impressed, because even if, like, when you face your fears, for example, even in a small example, like going on a roller coaster or doing a meeting or something like that, presentation where you feel uncomfortable, you feel fear, and you still do it anyway, that's kind of remarkable at celestial level, I would say, because you know, especially with whatever energies. I don't think the creators would be this way with the Page of Cups, but where they feel fear and they take that as an indication that they shouldn't do it, and you're willing to do something regardless of how you feel emotionally. I'd say with the tall whites there, you might connect to animals. That's something that they pick up on, that you enjoy the presence of animals, probably even more so than humans at times. But let's take a look at the main portion of the reading, is guidance and perspective on a particular situation. So what that situation is entirely up to you. And I would say if you were to come back and read or watch this video at a later date with a different perspective, you might pick up on different messages that come through. Let's see what their guidance is on a particular situation from a different vantage point, from a different angle from the sky, really. I see a few flowers, so I'm also thinking of blossoming. That could be tied to the Ten of Swords as well, as blossoming. They see you as still evolving into something beautiful, blooming when the time is right for you. Okay. So one of them came face up. You'll know that I kind of read two of them now. Came face up, so I'm going to read those first, even though they're at the end. Yeah, the energy is pretty, not stagnant, but equal and balanced throughout all the cards. So we have the Seven of Swords. I get more context when I see the rest of the cards. But, and then we have Temperance with patience and balance. This is in regards to a particular situation. I'm going to flip all the other cards, actually. Start from the first one, the World, Earth. It's kind of fitting. It says Earth. So they're looking... interesting imagery, where it feels like a prism. It's boxed in. It's still in 3D, as opposed to like 6-dimensional or whatnot. We have the architect. Oh, wow, that's... I was gonna just say that's trippy, because we have the creators there, which... Wow. I'll show you these cards. I'm kind of blown away, actually. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune with Jupiter. So lots of major arcanas with your situation. I feel as though most of this has to do with manifesting something in your life. It could be life purpose, it could be a partner, but it's really all about, and maybe that's why the creators are there, creating your own life, manifesting your own life. I'll show you the Earth. This is their perspective. And then, so I feel as though the Tall Whites, Anunnaki, maybe even Archangel Gabriel sees the world like this. This is the world that you perceive. And this is the creators looking at it from a completely different perspective. Just take a look at how vastly different the same image can be. And that's kind of the point of this reading, is to get a shift in your situation. And this play on perspective is gonna be shown as well with the Temperance card, which is all about patience, balancing the emotional body, considering the amount of cups that these beings have. They exude emotional control or different levels of mastery. And then we have Temperance for you, like probably your biggest piece of guidance. You'll notice that there's a figure at the bottom, the earthly figure, which I feel is you in the picture. And then there's a balance of like the higher self or a guide. And if you flip it over, you'll notice that the figure is outside of the image, and that those clouds are now like mountains. So it may feel like a long time, may not be, in terms of manifesting your situation. We have the Wheel of Fortune with Jupiter. I'll just show you this imagery. So the water is making another appearance here. And then the Seven of Swords. So what they're saying is the biggest obstacle is obviously your mind. You have the ability to make thoughts bigger than they need to be, and creating rifts within your world. You'll notice that these can be filled with the water that is your emotional body. The biggest message is that there are other factors at play. And I think that, there's fate, there's your guides, angelic team, and yes, extraterrestrials who all have a very different perspective and are willing to help and send the energy that's necessary to manifest what you desire. But there are just things you don't see which need to be taken into account before those things show themselves in your life. And that's why the Wheel of Fortune is in the middle of the reading. It's kind of like allowing these things to unfold naturally and expanding the mind, expanding it so that it doesn't kind of keep you blocked off from your potential. So it doesn't... Yeah, because the Seven of Swords could be a card of deceit, but here is definitely of self-doubt. And even with the Temperance card, we have two swords. Like you're being told to put the swords, the mental, I was gonna say, yeah, just the mental stuff, put them down. It's very small, the swords, so hopefully you can see them. But there are swords in this. One has the sword on the floor, the other one has it pointed at the ground, you see? It's like the mind. Don't force the mind on. I feel like if you've been trying to manifest something, and a lot of people on, you know, the internet and whatnot, or just the art of manifestation, or they'll make a claim like, I will manifest this and that, and this is kind of a recognition that all of the power isn't in just what you say and your mind and creating visualizations. It's a lot more passive. That if it's truly something that your heart wants, it'll come easily and with the full power of the universe to guide that. The Temperance and Wheel of Fortune also have kind of like the similarity as far as expansion, but really the flow of water. And what I'm seeing is that when you do get the energy that these beings are sending to you, to balance it properly, that you could balance it in multiple ways, obviously, but just recognize that there are multiple parts, moving parts, regarding your situation. This doesn't really feel like a relationship situation going on. But if it is, and you're wondering, like, why is this not working? Why haven't I manifested someone? It could be an indication that you still have some emotional work to do. In other words, kind of understanding yourself a little bit better. And through understanding yourself, you could manifest a partner who's truly on your page. That's not really what I'm getting for the most part for most of you, but just in case, because maybe one person. That's what's going on. I just want to show this to you again because it's really interesting. What's your perspective? Yeah. It's something to keep in mind as you go about your day and you're wishing for something and you're wondering why it hasn't happened. There's a guide outside of your viewpoint who has a better understanding of what's going on at an energetic level. And by tuning into your emotions, you can get into a sense of what's going on, you know? You might not know exactly how. Look at this. Look at this. Oh. I'm trying. I want to show it to you so you could see. Last one. I don't know if you could see that, but it says manifest. That's probably why I was saying it so many times. So definitely confirmation on that, which is exciting. And we have the Revolutionary. This really doesn't like this this deck here, but what I'm getting at with the Revolutionary is that the reason why this thing that you want is taking so long is because it's outside of the constraints of, you know, society as far as the expectations of other people. It's so far out the box, and that might have been a source of frustration for you, which is why this Wheel of Fortune is here. It's saying that it's coming. This way of living that you want, that you know can be, it's on its way. the biggest obstacle is lack of patience and overthinking. It's like, don't create rifts. Yeah, but I'm gonna close it out there. Hopefully you enjoyed the reading. Like, subscribe, do all that jazz. Personal reading description is in the description box below, and hopefully you enjoy this. I might expand on it definitely in the future, saying like which racer, what is your starseed origin, but that will be in a future date. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Take care. Hi Pile 2, if you chose my dragon friend here, this is going to be your reading. Let's get right into it. So first I have 5 cards pulled out. I haven't looked at them. The first card is an oracle card, a dragon oracle, so it might reveal a race, a celestial being. It might not. I also have little buckets, so we're going to find out what other races there are trying to come into contact with you, or at least energetically are observing you, close to you. We're going to get a description of who they are with 2 additional tarot cards, and then 2 more cards indicating how they see you, what is their perspective of you. And then we'll go on from there to what is their message regarding a specific situation, getting a different vantage point, a different perspective. So actually, let's start with this bucket. Let's see, how many of these am I going to get? Just one. Lyran. So the primary, I don't know if I have to show you the text. It says Lyran. That's, so I had mentioned, well, no, I think that was in the intro. You know, I don't remember now. But Lyra, I think exclusively of the golden angelic ray from Lyra, and sometimes archangels, depending on who you ask, might come from Lyra as well. So definitely, if you feel as though you have an angelic presence around you, or you feel like you are yourself an earth angel, that would be kind of confirmation. Let's see what this oracle card is. The Omega Dragon. Harness the divine feminine power of creation. Intention, hold your vision, birth higher consciousness. So definitely a higher dimensional being. Yeah, that might be Lyran. I'm just going to look at the book because I'm not sure. Sometimes they mention... okay, Archangel Metatron. So that would be another being who's present in this reading, Archangel Metatron, who I associate with power and life purpose as well. So let's get a description of these beings. The 6 of Wands, celebration, floral, very expressive, and very proud of who they are. We have the 9 of Pentacles, and filled with abundance and confidence, and like they have exactly what they want. Not financially, because I don't know if that's relevant, but there's just a sense of security and freedom, very flowy figures here. I could see them teleporting through portals as well, specifically Lyrans with the... So they might come to you in your dreams. Let's see how they see you. Oh, sorry. And then the Knight of Swords. So we have the 6 of Wands coming up twice. They're very proud of themselves and they're proud of you. They say you should be proud of what you've accomplished. You may not have gotten the recognition from fellow humans, but certainly at this vantage point, we notice your energetic shifts and the amount of time and energy you put into spiritual development, and it is something that you should be proud of, despite, again, maybe not financially seeing that or getting a plaque or a certificate for meditating. They recognize the work that you've put in, and it's very nice. They see you blossoming. This is a very lovely reading so far. It's also the Knight of Swords, so you like doing. They see you as a doer. They see, I guess, the human race in general is people who just want to get stuff done constantly. They like having a busy mind. They like learning. I say they. But yeah, fast moving. Sometimes too fast. Sometimes it's nice to slow down. You don't need that much coffee. Okay, so now we're going to get a perspective on a certain situation in your life. That's entirely up to you. Just what is their view? What is their advice on a certain situation in your life? One of the cards did come up face up, and that is the Sun, which, oops, I don't remember if the Six of Wands is the Sun card, or if it was Jupiter. I remember learning it, and I learned it wrong because one of the books I had messed up, and now I don't know which one's which. But anyway, the Sun has that brightness to it. It's telling me that you have a lot of positive energy, and that energy is seen from the stars, from across the cosmos. And that energy is, I think, when the Omega Dragon says you harness the divine power of creation, you also have the Sun. It's kind of like that balance to that. This is the Sun. The ability to create and just express yourself fully. And then one of the other cards that came up is the Fool with Uranus. Creating the decks. Very fourth dimensional. But it ties in. Wow, it's a variation of pile 1. Let's put it that way. So you have the energy to create your reality. The Fool is kind of taking the action to try something new. Let's see. Okay. We have Virgo here. I think this is the Queen of Pentacles. I don't know. I think it is the Queen of Pentacles. Maybe at times you don't know what to do with money, or maybe you feel like money is the way to open doors for you. Yeah, sometimes this doesn't feel like a traditional Queen of Pentacles to me. It feels like sometimes you get stuck with not knowing which way to go, where to put your money, where to invest it. It's like when the options open up for you, you get more stagnant in a way. And then we have the King of Cups. I could see you being more comfortable in this energy as opposed to the Queen of Pentacles, where you get frozen. Here you're just playing a little bit. Let's get clarification on these two. This could be an indication of a partnership towards making something. You have the Star. And then Judgment. Oh wow, there's a lot of majors. Yeah, and I shuffled these real good. So yeah, when I said that this could be a creative project, it feels even more so now. With the Star and Judgment. I was trying to see how I could line these up. This is the Judgment card. It's like this King of Cups is preparing for their own project here. They're crafting it. There's a sense of craftsmanship. Again, this Judgment card doesn't look scary. We also have the Star here, which, if you consider yourself to be the Virgo with the Queen of Pentacles, it's kind of opening up that world for you. You might have felt stuck for a while, especially financially. Again, it's through this collaboration with the King of Cups that brings about that freedom that you're seeking as far as exploring the world, but definitely manifesting a dream within it. There is quite a bit of water in this reading, so. And all the water is from a pretty high vantage point, so this is a big thing that a lot of people are going to feel and notice. And you have, again, you have the energy to bring it forth. You have the support from within yourself, being your own sun, but also from the Star. I like how the Star is here. Kind of just like the Lyran's Archangel Metatron is recognizing your ability to create and will be celebrating it, which is why the Six of Wands is there. It's like their sense of time is not linear, so they already know how great this project is going to be. They already know how successful you are, and that if you had been wondering what your life purpose is, I had mentioned life purpose. I'm silly, but I had mentioned it. I remember, because I thought of Metatron as my life purpose, and we're seeing two cards that indicate this, with Judgment and the Star. Very beautiful. So in case you were wondering, you're on your way to it. You're on your way to it. With the Fool, it's reminding you later on, as you start manifesting this or start creating your projects, to be open to new ways of doing, so you don't feel too stagnant on how you should go about this. But there's a strong sense of partnership. This could be kind of like a warning against the energy of being a little stuck when it comes to finances, when it comes to how you could go about making this project into reality, bring it into reality. Stay with that water. Stay with flowing with what feels good, and being a little impulsive. It'll be nice. Surrender. There we go. Surrender to the process. Don't force it like a I was going to say Capricorn, but Virgo. Allow things to flow, and next thing you'll know, you'll be in your life purpose. But this is a very exciting time. The Lyrans and Archangel Metatron are seeing this unfold, and they're pretty excited for you and sending their energetic support as well. So yeah, I hope this reading was helpful. I'm trying to keep it fairly short. Please consider liking and subscribing if you haven't already done so. I also have personal readings that I do. You can see the information for that in the description below. I'm probably going to do a future video of what are your celestial origins, but for this one I really want to focus on kind of like their help, their guidance. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Hi Pile 3, if you chose the lapis lazuli pyramid, we're going to get into your reading. Trying to sneak it in there. There we go. So I have 5 different cards out right now. I haven't looked at any of them. One of them is a dragon oracle, indicating possibly an extraterrestrial race, a starseed race. I'm going to be drawing from here as well. Maybe an additional 1 or 2 races. We're going to get a description of what these beings are, what they're like. We're going to find out what they think of you, what their perspective of you is, and then finally the main portion of the reading, we're going to find out just their advice, their perspective again on a situation that you're in, thinking about, and so forth. So let's get right into it. We'll start with this little bucket thing. We have the founders. Oh no. Founders, Pleiadian, and Andromedan. So these are a lot of, I was going to say heavy hitters. Andromedan, the founders, so very high dimensional beings. With Pleiadian, you might be Pleiadian, or you might be any of these others, but those are the ones coming through. Put a weight on that. Let's see what the card is. Okay, aquamarine dragon from Neptune. I smile when I see Neptune. If Rosalie is watching and you picked this pile, you know exactly why. Isn't that something? Gotta keep it together. From Neptune, so you might associate or have a connection with Neptune. Enables you to access your deepest soul wisdom. Spirituality and wisdom are available to you. Develop your psychic abilities and receive ineffable soul knowledge. I wanted to see if there's another association from the book with it. If I could find it. There we go. No, but Neptune definitely. That energy is coming through, and I would connect that with the Pleiadians actually. Okay, so let's get information as to their personality, their energy, what you should know about them. We have the 4 of Wands. This feels Pleiadian. Sharing love. This is Aries and Venus, or Venus and Aries. Very loving energy, very willing to give to you, give to others. And then we have the 9 of Cups. Definitely building upon that water element that we saw previously from the Neptune dragon. Being self-sufficient, stable within the emotional body, kind of pushing out emotional energies that aren't theirs either. It's a nice mix of being grounded and spiritual as well from all of these beings, Andromedan, founders, and Pleiadian. A dreamlike sense to the founders, I would say. Is it the founders who said keepers of the flame? That's what I'm thinking of when I see these figures holding the light. They're holding the light, and they have the same thing going on with the hand. So these beings may work energetically with, I mean, I don't think they're physical, but they might have at one point worked with the hands, and maybe you'll connect with doing Reiki or some sort of energy healing. Let's see how they see you. So the hand is a confirmation. The hand's showing up again in this reading. I didn't look. I promise I didn't look. So that's pretty remarkable. This is the Hierophant. So spiritual development, spiritual wisdom, that's a message that's coming through strongly. Mostly from founders in Andromeda. It's like where you focus your mind, you're able to access different... Attention is very important. Where you place your attention is very important, which is why so many companies will pay to get your attention, I mean, for as long as possible. But it is a power, and they just want to remind you of that power and the responsibility that comes with it. And then we have the Moon. They do notice strongly the polarity within you and within Earth. And it's just something that's fascinating. There's 2 major arcanas here, so they see you as very powerful and kind of in charge of your own destiny, especially with the founders. They kind of see that in themselves through you. And they see that you are stepping into the wisdom of recognizing your shadow attributes as not an obstacle, but as a part of who you are, and how to manage that and be at one with that is something that they see in you, that they don't see in a lot of other human beings, at the moment anyway. So they consider you to be fairly advanced in that way. Let's see what their guidance is on a particular situation that you have. What is their perspective and guidance on a situation? You haven't seen the whole picture yet, though, with the shadow self. I feel as though they don't think you've... It's like in the darkness, the key is hidden. So there's an aspect of yourself that... Oh, the key, duh. Oh my god. This dragon is holding a key. Within the emotional depths of your subconscious, there's a secret in there, and they want you to find it. So when you get like a little upset, or something like that happens, it's a nice time to pause and practice this wisdom. It's like, why is this showing up? And you might want to use Reiki as well. So the card that popped up is the Queen of Swords, with a very high vantage point up here, being in charge of your mental body. We're going to see what the other cards are. We have the Moon coming up twice, okay, with Pisces, so that's definitely an energy that's around you, an energy of, illusions, but Pisces, Moon, Aquamarine, Neptune, Pleiadians, a lot of water. There's a lot of navigating the emotions and allowing them to reveal something to you. Interesting with these towers there. If you want, you can distance yourself from these emotions to get a different perspective on the way you feel. So sometimes you might want to ride that emotional wave and allow yourself to cry, and then you might want to set as time aside time and reflect upon that intense feeling that you had and be like, okay, well, now that I'm not there, what was that about? But to go back and revisit those instances in which you are feeling that rush of energy, of intense emotions. Is that water? So that's kind of a confirmation, riding out. I have to say, with connecting with these celestial beings, there's a lot more clarity. There's a lot more clarity that comes through. Not just this reading, but I did a meditation on my birthday, deliberately connecting to one of these, and it was just like I opened up. I was like, what's going on right now? So I'm very glad, and I would encourage you to, if you haven't, at least in meditation, consider just sitting under the stars and imagining one of these beings, because they're very wise. So we have the Chariot. So as I said, riding that wave. I think this is quite literal. I didn't realize it or mean for it to be that way. And also having fun with the emotions as well. And with the Chariot, I can't help but think of the horses that Poseidon, I think, is associated with horses, or Neptune. So these are very tied together as well. And I don't think you're someone who gets overwhelmed with being carried away by emotions, but definitely that wisdom is something that these beings, the Andromedans founders, are recognizing that you have, that you're well aware of what these emotions do to you and why they're important to you. And I feel as though, I think human beings, the human race in general, that's one of our huge lessons, is understanding emotions and how they assist us in navigating through an unseen world. Very beautiful imagery. But yeah, with the moon coming up twice, this is a big lesson for you. It's like, what's underneath the waters? What's at the deepest part of your ocean? We have the Three of Swords. Heartbreak, maybe. Maybe that's what's in the deepest depths of your oceans. Something that you'd forgotten about. Something that you buried deep. That's kind of where this obviously all ties together. Look at this. Look at how this ties together. That ship is leading to the source of the pain. You could see this. When I say ride the wave, you're riding to what's been at the deepest parts of your being. So it's from this unseen emotion, this place of why am I so upset about this? Oops, I think that's supposed to be here. Yeah, that's supposed to be here. Just look at that for a bit. It's from your shadow aspect, from the emotions, from whatever comes up, comes to the surface when you ride the chariot, and you allow yourself to follow that hurt, that sadness, that anger. You follow it. It'll lead you to the heart, which this is Libra coming through. Libra comes in again with, as I said, the Queen of Wands. I mean, I am cheating. It says Libra, but this card doesn't say Libra, so I'm not cheating that much. But I digress. You'll notice that this dragon has a little orb in the center of its chest with the key. So the heart is coming through, the water is coming through. Generally speaking, you won't see the Three of Swords with the heart as water, but it's water here. So again, And notice that it's swords that are penetrating it. It's a thought. It's a particular mindset that is clogging your heart chakra. Okay. And I think that's why this Queen of Swords is at the end of the reading. Your power might be... I get a visual of this, of like pulling out the Excalibur from the heart. And that's the power that you've gone through the whole journey of riding the wave. Now there's no more water in this imagery, and you're pulling that out. And that's... And all of this is being seen by the extraterrestrials. They see it clearly, and that's why they're trying to convey it to you clearly. And then we have the Queen of Wands. So what I'm getting at here is, from all this riding, all this wave, and all of this discovery, towards the end is when you're gonna step into your power, and be really the master of yourself. I'm gonna get clarification on these two cards, because this could also be, you know, another person that you've been dealing with. Actually, it was like this. It's interesting. I'll just show you. It was kind of like a wall that's being built. These cards were right next to each other, so the that heartbreak leads to the Leo. It leads to the Queen of Wands, who's patiently waiting after that whole journey. Let's get one more card. Aquarius with King of Swords. No. Page of Swords. It's like you sought out to discover more about yourself. This is a journey you wanted to be on. Self-discovery and self-mastery. And the Pleiadians and Neptune are saying that the path to this mastery of the self comes from emotional understanding. You have the Nine of Wands. I think your goal is to take away the weight. There's a load, a heavy load that you feel energetically within you that's been really a quest. And I think that's why the Libra at the end is so important. I think Libra, liberation, you think of balance within the self as well. But the biggest thing here is that this person's finally on top. They're finally on top. They finally see clearly. They finally have reached their high vantage point. It was an exciting journey, and you're going to be successful. Spoiler alert. So let's get one final oracle. Versatility. Yeah, I think when it comes to navigating the waves, navigating the emotional body, and being versatile within yourself as well, which is really important. Allowing yourself to kind of have those tantrums, to kind of display, I don't know, cut yourself some slack. These beings definitely see how difficult it can be to navigate through this world emotionally, especially when there's other people's emotions as well, kind of trying to interfere and influence you. But this is a big lesson for you in that you have the potential to really obtain mastery, and then it'll just be a little more fun. I I get the sense of like that's something you wanted, is freedom, fun, and that's what these higher dimensional beings want for you as well. Want for you to just enjoy navigating through this world, because when you're in that state of joy, then you're able to easily help others do the same thing. So I hope this reading resonated. If it did, please like and subscribe. I'm just going to show this to you, this power. Consider sharing my videos if you like them. It's like that's your superpower, is emotional body. And yeah, and I'll probably do in the future a, what do you call it, Starseed Origins video as well in the future. But yeah, and if you have any suggestions as far as content is concerned, you could definitely leave a comment. I love reading them. So, alright, take care. Thank you for watching.